Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that is the bombshell version.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Jen got it for me. I've got, of course, the obligatory Obey Henry. And I forget where I got this sticker from.
You probably got it from the collector's edition, because I think I have one as well.
Yeah. And then this is my Happy Holidays Blizzard 1 year card. Little Easter eggs for people to find. I've got my Cade right here. He's hanging out with the Fallout 4 gun.
Oh, the Funko Cade?
Well, see here, I have a Lazy Boy that I fall asleep in almost every dungeon that I run these days.
I can vouch for that.
No, this is a Bungie. Yeah, it's a little Bungie one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've seen those. They're selling them in the gear shop on the app, right? For the Blizzard app, Blizzard store.
It might be. Maybe I did get it from
I think I've seen them there.
There's a treadmill that I haven't used in a while that I should.
Well, if you're not going to use it, you can drive over to my place.
I know. Yeah, I could use one.
Yeah, I have a Eludra minion watching us.
Eludra's playing Destiny 2 with us.
Yeah. And of course, I have.
Your Stola.
Yep.
I really need to get some more Final Fantasy swag. I have the Odin statue. His sword. He keeps dropping his sword, though.
Yeah, he's kind of clumsy that way.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't think that with him being, a demigod and all.
You'd think, right?
Well,
Because normally he doesn't drop his sword.
Okay,
you have to
checking
get
the
tokens
page.
to buy it.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. I see the new one.
I see the new one.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dancing.
Yeah. There we go. I see Robert dancing. All right. Are we good?
Oh no! Does it have my real name?
Yes.
That was just me.
Not that I keep it secret.
Yeah, it shows when
It does say Robert on your tag, but
Oh,
what the heck.
good. Well, that way I can distinguish myself from Bob.
Right. Well, our Destiny raid team is essentially the Robert and Michael team.
Yeah, the Robin Mike. There are 3 Robs and 3 Mikes, and that works out well.
Well, no, I go by Bob.
All right.
Robert.
Here we go.
Sure, let's
All
take
right.
this.
Yes, sir.
Going live in 5, 4, 3. On this episode of the AIE Podcast.
A Wintervale coupe is such a great gift.
Capurro Flashpoint hits Tuesday.
Fun with 4 free days in Final Fantasy XIV.
And we have Sybil's STO update.
And Duras and Abavan are here to talk to us about all the games. All of them.
All of them.
It's going to be a long show, people.
One. All the way
All
back
that
to Pong.
All that and
Cancel my
more
plans for
coming
tonight.
up right now. Cool. Welcome to episode 289 of the podcast celebrating the Alia Iacta Est gaming community. The Die Has Been podcast. It's Demi. To my left is Mew Cow.
Greetings, holiday gamers.
And to my right is McCullough.
Hey guys, there are marshmallows, fudge, and 7-layer bars in the Guild Kitchen. Also, Ted, I need a cleanup in the Guild Kitchen.
Yeah, shocking.
Right?
This week, we guest Duras and Abavan, who are here to talk to us about AIE in Destiny 2, Final Fantasy XIV, The Division, and other games. Welcome, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
So, have you played this thing called video games before?
Video games?
Right?
Video games?
Yeah, I mean, turns out there's lots of them. We play
There
lots
are.
of them.
I think there's almost too many, honestly.
There are. There
It's
are.
funny. There's an actual convention near me
Possible.
that happens every year, called Too Many Games, and
Funny.
it's mostly retro game stuff. But it's such a cool event. I love going to it.
Oh, if you
Very
include
cool.
retro, there's definitely too many games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I give myself a strict limit when I go to that show.
I can imagine.
I'm
Strict
sure.
dollar limit.
Like the holiday
Alright.
Steam sale, which will probably be coming up shortly.
Oh my!
Save some money.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
I hope so. Ted has a Steam wish list. There's at least one thing I want to get for him on there.
Spoilers. All right.
Spoilers.
So, Duris, what have you been up to in or out of game this week?
All the games.
Wow. It's December.
It is.
Yeah. Okay.
December
All right.
10th.
Well, those who know me know that I've been in and out of games. It's been a furiously busy 6 months now that both my kids are in grades that require much extracurricular activity as well as their other various things. So I've not been as solid in games or even online much the last 6 months, but the last few weeks I've actually been able to get on quite a bit. Other than that, staying busy with work, trying to keep on top of all the new games and new DLCs and new patches that are coming down, building websites and kicking web servers, doing all the fun
Nice.
things.
Building websites and taking names.
Very cool. What about you, Abba? What have you been up to?
Well, my main two games, I guess, right now are still the Final Fantasy but I've been doing a lot of the Destiny 2 hanging out with the nomads who are in that game, doing the stuff, doing the raids. Side note, we went into the what was it called? The lair of the Leviathan? Or the belly of the Leviathan, something like that.
Either it's a raid lair as opposed
Yes.
to the raid, and I think it's called the Eater of Worlds.
Right.
That's what they're calling it. Yeah, the belly
So-
of the Leviathan.
Mm.
We decided to go into that on day one with no Google help, and it was awesome.
It's always the best way to go in.
We were able to get see a lot of cool stuff there and actually figure stuff out, which was really cool.
And the voice chat was not family friendly.
No,
course not.
no,
I doubt
no,
that
not
would
at all.
be.
But besides that, been playing through Final Fantasy IV on Steam, just because. That's the 3D remake of it. It still has the same gameplay as the old Super Nintendo cart, but now with voices and such. So been playing around with that, playing Cuphead. I finally picked up a copy of Elder Scrolls Online, and I played around with that. That was on the cheaps over the weekend, so I grabbed that. And
Very cool.
lots of mobile games on the phone, with the kiddos. That's stuff I can pick up for about 5 minutes, play a little bit, get a little progression, put it back down. Say again?
And not worry
interrupted,
about
yeah.
being interrupted.
Yeah, it's something I can just go and then put down, take care of the next crisis, and then sit back down 5 minutes, pick it back up, and go.
Cool.
That's most of my daytime gaming.
Yeah.
Very cool. What about you, McCullough? What have you been up to?
Well, we had visitors in town last week, which was a lot of fun. Mr. and Mrs. Hunts the Wind came to visit us. And if anyone knows Hunts and Mrs. Hunts, they love board games. So we did a lot of that while they were here. Because of the holidays, my normal RPG schedule has been down, but we did play on Friday. And so a few weeks ago, our DM said, hey, by the way, I'm going to need you to have your 15th level characters. I need you to redraw them at level 1. We had no idea what he was doing. Now, we know that the end for this campaign is our characters are going to be gods. So we got to the place where gods are made. We walked through a portal. We're now about 13 years old in an orphanage with no memory of who we are. And by level 1, he meant no character class, no background, nothing. So yeah, so that was my fun for the Geek Week. Taking my lovely 50th level Cthulhu Warlock down to I have to erase every single thing on this piece of paper.
Yeah, that's always fun.
That was a blast.
Gamer amnesia.
Gamer amnesia, right. And for somebody that writes, 18-page character histories,
Yeah.
that's kind of rough.
You can go the full 20. I mean, you couldn't put in that extra effort.
I really easily could have. I've done it. My longest has been 22 pages. But, I only did 18 this time.
It's good to tell a story. That's what it's all about.
It is, and I love telling stories. And that's, as a gamer, that's like my passion. And I need to know who my character was before I know who they are going to be. So now I don't know either.
Yeah. What about you, New Cow? What have you been up to?
It's been so long. Well, it's been so long since I've been around,
I know.
This is true.
Sick. Yeah. I got one of those really fun viral cold bugs that last 2 or 3 weeks. Which is funny because it was 2 or 3 weeks before that I got the nice flu shot. So it's like, oh well, it's not flu, it's something else. Oh, that's fun. But I had some time for gaming in it here and there. Not my usual stuff, of course. It's a little harder to focus on stuff where people rely on you when you're sick. So, a little less Final Fantasy than I would like. But I was in there at least yesterday and starting to catch back up.
Awesome.
Other than that, as earlier mentioned, Destiny 2 came out, and been very busy in there. Have my usual 3 alts. The third one still needs to be finished up, though. They're still in the middle of the story. But I have 2 ready for raid and 1 coming on the way. And other than that,
cool.
For those that have Amazon Prime and have the Twitch Prime, they had a little ESO goodie in there. I believe it was like a little DLC pack. I think you put the code in, you get a little DLC pack. So, I was like, oh yeah, that game. I remember it being a big deal on launch, and then it kind of didn't go anywhere for a while. And they said, hey, let's try free to play. And so I guess they're back with some new DLCs and trying to get everybody back in there. So that's what I've been doing up to.
Cool. Very cool. All right.
What have you been up to, Tat?
Up to all the alts. I have been playing a lot of Star Wars, mostly working on Command XP on my Imperial side Sorcerer, and also been working a bit on my Pub Trooper. I got my Sorcerer up to Command XP 225 out of the 300, and so I'm working on him, and we'll cover it next week in the notes. But next week is going to be double CXP week, so I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully, I can push him through and get him to 300 with that, because I've been doing a lot of dailies, and they nerfed the amount of Command XP you got from doing the dailies on some of the solo planet missions, and so they're going to triple those rewards. Plus, then you get the double CXP on top of that. And if you're running a command boost, it should be ridiculous amounts of command XP. So I should be able to push to 300 next week. So doing that. And in WoW, we are raiding. And honestly, other than doing dailies, that's about all I'm doing there. We got the first 2 bosses down in Antorus on normal, one-shot them. And now we're working on High Command and Portal Keeper. High Command, we're struggling a little bit with positioning, and Portal Keeper, we hit the enrage timer a couple times, so we just need to have some DPS alive in the 3rd phase, and we should be good for that. So I'm hoping we'll get both those down tonight.
Yeah.
Very cool. So yeah, I did get my 2nd and 3rd mount out of the Emissary quest. So I got the Griffin mount from Court of Ferondus a couple weeks ago. I got the carpet out of the flying carpet out of the Nightfallen rep 2 days ago, and I got the Storm Drake from the day before that. So I just have the Valshara and High Mountain mounts left to go in the
Nice.
emissary quests.
Very cool, baby.
Cool. All right, but that's what I have been up to. We will be digging into Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, and other games that AIE is in shortly. But first, let's cover this week's news.
Woohoo!
AIE news.
News.
All right.
Looks like first an Imperium Ludi.
Yep.
And there's this game called Destiny 2.
There
And-
is?
Yeah, it's
Cool.
nice and shiny. So the first DLC, Curse of Osiris, is now live. I believe that launched on Tuesday. And a new raid layers are now active, which was the aforementioned Belly of the Leviathan. The new level cap is 25, so 5 extra levels from 20. And there'll, of course, be more updates due on December 12th about what's coming. So we have one more DLC coming, so maybe they'll talk about that.
Cool. All right. In a WoW news, especially AIE WoW news, our Winter Veil Coop Spectacular 2017 is coming. It is time to coop. So we're having a bit of fun this Winter Veil and delivering gifts to our friends on the Alliance side. So bring your Winter Veil outfits, transmogs, those cute Great Father hats, and your selfies and join us. The event will be held on Saturday, December 30th, 2017 at 4 p.m. server time, and of course, meet at the Blimp. Grimcow will be heading up the Coop run. If any questions, please let him know. As always, those without the mount will be given priority. And even if you aren't in the primary group, remember, there's room for everybody. Support groups are just as much fun, sometimes if not even more fun. And guys, can't wait to ring in the new year with AIE, with showing the Alliance our love. Again, that is Saturday, December 30th at 4 p.m. server time.
Yeah, those support teams have all the fun because they don't have to get them out, so they can just go in and just go crazy. They can do all kinds of fun stuff.
If you die or whatever, you just run back. No, my first coop was a support piece, and I loved it.
Yeah. And Grim does have a surprise for the people that are participating in the run, so make sure you want to show up.
Is it going to be eggnog?
And in a no, that's okay. In a galaxy far, far away, or as we know it, the Old Republic, mandatory fun night for the 12th of December will be the explosive conflict on the Galactic Republic side. The 19th of December, we're doing Terror from Beyond on the Sith Empire side. And December 26th and January 2nd, they will be on break and be back on the 9th of January for a visit to Karaga's Palace on the Sith Empire side. Also, get your patching ready on Tuesday. Patch 5.6.1 hits, and we've got a couple of highlights. Tuning to the new Capero Flashpoint that was released when 5.6 hit a couple weeks ago. They have reduced significantly the boss health in both story and solo mode. Damage is reduced in both story and solo mode by the bosses, and they have had their health slightly reduced in veteran and master mode. Number of enemies has been reduced throughout the flashpoint, thank God. It was ridiculous, and the Guardian droid will no longer instacast their mortar volley ability. The Capero security droid will no longer instacast their seeker missile ability because, come on, guys, missiles, they need travel time.
True.
Note for me, as I mentioned in the what have we been up to lately, in 5.6.1, missions means you actually get less CXP than you did previously from the daily areas, which is not something that they wanted. In fact, we want you to get a lot more CXP from solo missions in the game. So in 5.6.1, all of the planetary heroic missions and daily area missions are going to have their CXP rewards tripled up to 225 CXP per mission, which is up from 75. Their goal with this change is that both planetary heroics and daily area missions are great sources of CXP for solo players. These changes, along with all the other increased rewards for group and solo activity in Activity Finder, means you can gain command ranks quicker than ever in whatever activities you choose to play. The final patch notes will be posted on Monday on the usual place, sotor.com/patch notes. Also, starting Tuesday until the end of the year, they are doubling your XP, CXP, and Valor gain. This was supposed to happen with the launch of 5.6, but some bits got misplaced and are now in order. Escape Podcast number 222, Narshada and Nahut talk. AIE Sema and Max the Gray wrap up their class story on Narshada and talk about the new Nahut boss fight.
Sounds like fun. Alrighty, and Final Fantasy XIV news. I want everyone to be aware that if you are currently taking a break, that the free login campaign has already begun as of December 1st. They are giving out 4 days of free time for any previous players, anyone that's not currently active. That's 96 hours, basically used once you do your first login. Essentially, it doesn't like they don't want to. It's hard to explain, but they want to make sure you get your maximum bang for your buck out of the 4 days. So they're counting it by the hours. The next live letter from the producers will be on December 15th, and will detail information for the 4.2 patch. Also, the Starlight Celebration will be starting very soon, and it's highly recommended that you save that free time for the celebration, so you can get the maximum effect out of it. Because usually Starlight Celebrations have some fun outfits and some interesting stories, so you want to be around for that, definitely.
Awesome. And we have Captain Sybil's Star Trek Online News Summary for the week ending in 12/10/2017. It is that time of year again, Captains. Q's Winter Wonderland event from December 7th to January 18th. Star Trek's favorite pain in the asteroid, oh, I like that one, darling, will be offering a gorgeous Breen Heavy Raider starship and tons of other outstanding equipment for event prize vouchers. Traditional events plus new events will reward the prize vouchers to all participants. Q's snarky responses are included at no extra charge. The new Drowner Colony Fleet Starbase next upgrade project has been unlocked. Colony utility lamps. The colony gets really, really dark at night, as we well know. From December 7th to January 4th, the C-Store will be making Legacy Duty Officer packs available, as well as the new Zentethi Dreadnought carrier starship. This weekend only, all Duty Officer packs, as well as the aforementioned Legacy Duty Officer packs, are on sale at the C-Store for 20% off. And don't forget, all the Fleet Star bases are always seeking contributions of material, personnel, and as always, for more information on this news and other news, check out the backstories, patch notes, forums, and all the other goodies at the Star Trek Online website, which is StarTrekOnline.com. Until next time, Captain Sybil says, live long and prosper. Really? I stutter on Sybil?
And in Eve news, redacted. No, but seriously, there is nothing much right now for AIU except for the fact that they started destroying moons. Tractor beam a huge chunk to orbit, blow it up, mine the blocks. Typical Eve explosion solution to everything, and especially diplomacy. Some uncertainty in the future with massive layoffs at CCP, the producer of the game, including all of the community managers, which that's like, wow. That's kind of crazy. Layoffs linked to VR officially, but reaching more than the announcement. Not the first set of layoffs in the 15 years of the game, but still worrisome now that CCP is supported by an investment fund.
Yeah, very much so.
Alpha pilots, those you can play for free, have more ships and skills accessible, but those new skills need paid training or injectors to learn. So feel free to fly and explode or fly backwards and don't explode. Entirely up to you in Eve.
And in Guild War 2 news, make sure you're coming around for the Monday Fun Nights. As always, they are still looking for carrots. And also, Season 4 has started, so make sure you log in to get the first part for free.
And with that, let's get back to Duras and Abavan and find out what's going on in all the games.
All of them.
Carrots?
All of
the
them.
games.
Carrots. Yes,
Carrots?
carrots.
Carrots.
What?
Yeah, they need carrots for the guild hall.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, it's a material you need for the guild hall.
I
Eat your
played
vegetables, kids.
I've played the game, but the carrots thing is new to me.
It's new. It is new.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm not crazy about that anyway. So
All right.
games, games. What are we doing?
We
Since
do
I've
lots of
been
them.
since I've been so busy lately, the games that have been catering to my attention and availability have mostly been these just hop into, hop out of games. It probably started with Diablo 3 actually. Season 12 started up in Diablo 3 recently, and the usual crew have reassembled, right? Because we'll all go in, we'll do seasonal stuff until we're like, that's too hard, and then we stop, and then see you in 6 months, right? Whenever the new season starts. But
Yep.
yeah, I remember last season, we played a lot with Ralph back in the day. The usual crew, like lots of the Over the Hill gang folks, and a few of them anyway, and a few of the other regulars hopped in. We went hard probably for about 2 or 3 weeks. I've completed most of season 12. I mean, you even made an appearance, didn't you, Abo?
Yes, I actually do have a couple season characters, but both previous season and this season.
And we do have a Nomads clan. A lot of raid teams have their own, or I'm sorry, Nomads community. A lot of raid teams will also have their clans. You can be a member of both. So if you find yourself playing Diablo 3 and you're not playing with Nomads or meeting us up in Discord, but you want in on the fun, definitely drop a line in Discord and hashtag LFO, and we can definitely get you into the Nomads community there. What you mentioned Elder Scrolls earlier, Abba. Why don't you talk about what we've been doing there?
Okay, so over the weekend, Elder Scrolls was on the cheaps on Steam, and a bunch of us have been playing it there, on and off casually. What have we been doing in the game? I have no idea. I'm just going and clicking things, and people die, and it's awesome.
What level are you?
9.
9? Oh, you made it more further than I did. I made it to level 7. Yeah, I run around, I collect all the little things, I blow stuff up. It's not a tab targeting game, so it's it's very much sort of a skill shot, aim and fire away things, and the crafting system's really interesting. Crafting and weapon system, how you have skill paths diverging off of the various weapons that you have equipped, and I don't know, it's interesting. We don't have a formalized guild there yet that I'm aware of. I think we did at one point in the past, but that people kind of lost track of that and who actually had it. But definitely, again, hashtag Nomads in Discord.
Awesome.
Pop in there, find out how to get in touch with us playing the game. Probably the biggest thing lately, like we have discussed, Destiny 2. It's now on the PC, folks. Right? How awesome is that? The one criticism, well, I have a few, but the one big criticism I have of the game is the social and community features.
Yeah.
I'll start with exactly. I'll start with what is this, 1998? We have a 100 membership cap in the quote-unquote clan. Now, this is made more interesting by the fact that the clan, as it exists on Bungie.net, it's a meta clan. It encompasses all of the platforms, like PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. However, when you're in the game on the specific client for your platform, you only see members that are also on that platform. But there is a web chat, because everyone uses web chats these days, right? They don't use Discord. Right. Well, Discord is our meta chat for the game. So if you're playing Destiny 2 on the PC, the Xbox, the PlayStation, hop into Discord and look for the hashtag Destiny 2 channel. That's where all the activity is occurring, because there's really no clan chat in the game. Now, to be fair, on the console, Bungie always piggybacked off of whatever in-game communication was available on that console, like PlayStation parties or Xbox Live chats. And when Activision, who is the daddy of both Blizzard and Bungie, said, you know what? Blizzard's got an awesome network and community infrastructure. You're just going to use it. So they're sort of using it. You'll notice about the same time Destiny 2 launched, they also brought out of beta the social tab that you now see in your Blizzard app. And we did, due diligence, just like we did for the other platforms. We created a group there, AIE Destiny 2, which sees little to no use because most people are in the game, and that's a separate thing, and most people are in voice chat and Discord. So if you do see that and you remember there, don't be discouraged by the lack of activity there. It's
Right.
Discord. That's where it's all happening.
Yep.
And we have 2 clans because with the 100-member cap, we have an AIE 2 that we stood up that had the more recent folks that didn't get on board right away in it, about 25 folks. We are now undergoing the great shuffle. So we're taking people who, new shiny, the honeymoon's over. They haven't played the game in like 30 or 60 days. So we're moving them out on a case-by-case basis for everyone who wants to come in from AIE 2. So if you're in AIE 2 and it's like, I'm not getting any stuff, then feel free to DM us or talk in, again, Discord. Let us know you want to join us in AIE and we can make it happen. Getting kicked out of the guild, not the end of the world. There's nothing you really lose there. If you do come back to the game, we're not being mean to you. We're just trying to make space for the people who are actually actively participating in the game, because as you participate in certain activities in the game, if you're in the same clan, or if a majority of people are in the clan, you get extra perks and bonuses.
Yep.
And we've been raiding, so it's been fun. To talk about the Destiny 2 raid, Abba, what are your feelings on the raid scheme that they use?
So there's my phone that just beeped at me. So
Is it an alert that your kids are swinging their diapers around their head?
no, it's one that says I need to take my antibiotics.
Oh, okay. That one's a little more important. Well, I mean,
They're both important. They would both.
They both have their reasons.
But rating in the Destinies 2. So there's your normal raid that the game came with, Leviathan, and then you have the World Eater, which is another wing of Leviathan that came in the new DLC that just dropped this week. So up until this week, we've been going, yay, we're raiding in Leviathan, pew, 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 yay. And, that we have completed that. It's not tremendously hard. There is a prestige version of it. I have not personally been in there. I think a couple of our folks have, but there is essentially a hard or heroic or extreme or super duper awesome mode or what game nomenclature you like. But then the DLC dropped, so they added a new wing of the raid. And then, much to the chagrin of a lot of us, especially for people who did not purchase the DLC, they raised the gear requirements of the raid, of the normal Leviathan raid, so to the point where it'd be extremely difficult to get into the raid to the minimum power level you needed without having the DLC.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was kind of curious because I do remember that before the DLC came out, it was 260 was the minimum to get into the raid, and now it says 300.
Yep, sure does.
So it's a sneaky way for them to encourage you to get that DLC.
And the more quote-unquote interesting thing, too, is, and this is a holdover for, I think, mostly Destiny 1 experience, the raids are similar in challenge and difficulty. I think less than 10% of the people ever completed it. And also, in addition, there's been a big stink lately about, on the consoles, I think, I have not read much about it yet, that with the drop of the Curse of Osiris, which is the DLC, people who did not pre-purchase the DLC, because you know how people like to package these season passes with new games now, are shut out of certain achievements and trophies. The ability to get those have just now gone away because of the various requirements and the way they've gated the content. So there are some people being issued refunds. So if that really irks you and you're not going to shell out the money for the DLC, Google Destiny 2 refunds. Maybe you might be able to might be able to ditch that game and get back a little money. But yeah, they've had games in general have been taking an interesting turn lately when it comes to paid content, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So it's a interesting little bit. I mean, I have the season pass on both platforms, PS4 and PC. So I mean, I don't have to worry about that right now. But I totally will get the frustration that some folks says, I just bought $60 for the base game, now I have to buy another $15, just continue going on. So one side of the coin says, oh, it's sort of like a MMO price, right? You play the game for about 2 months, and you just had to spend another $15. It's about the price of an MMO, and I'm not sure how long that this will hang out with, but it is something to consider when you're playing these games now.
Yeah, and they need. I mean, the other way that they get money is from the EJ people. I forget what it's called. But there's
Eververse.
Yeah, Eververse. That's it. Yeah, EV. It's yeah. So they have these bright engrams, or what are they called now?
Right.
Illuminating engrams.
That's it. That's it. Illuminating engrams. Yeah, and they have a little Osiris eye in them because they change what comes out of those bright engrams by season. So now it's the illuminating ones. Now it's the Osiris theme stuff that you're getting at it, and that's the other way that they make their money. Is they're hoping that people will spend a little bit of money and get those loot boxes. Fortunately, these loot boxes aren't going to help you win the game. Technically, they're visual stuff. They're cosmetic. It's new weapon skins for stuff. It's new new
mounts.
Yeah.
New ships, which is really just your loading screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A loading screen for activities. Yeah, you get to see it a little more than just loading it from when you load into the game. My favorite thing about loading into the game is the complete lack of audio control. How it is just
delightful.
Full blast, blaring noise at you, and then once you get into the game, it respects your audio settings.
Yes.
Just to wake you up.
But as far as Eververse is concerned, I mean, Tess, come on, voiced by Claudia Black. Who doesn't want to give Tess money to buy cool things?
Right.
When especially if you walk near her, she's trying to entice you. It's like, hey, come
hey,
on
Guardian, hey, Eververse is new. But speaking of voice actors, if you're into that, a lot of the cast of Firefly are in the game. If you know Cade 6, the Exo Hunter, he's voiced by Nathan Fillion.
Nice.
Curse of Osiris guy, Osiris himself, his ghost is voiced, she's the most recent edition, voiced by Inara, the companion that was on the ship. I can't remember the actress's name.
Marina Baccarat.
Baccarat, that's it. And Ikora, the warlock trainer, is voiced by... What's her name?
Zoe.
Zoe, yes.
Gina Torres.
Gina Torres, that's it, yes. And it's just like, wow, it's like they just need to get Kaylee in here and River, right? And then we'll have almost the full cast.
Yep.
But the story in Destiny 2, it has a PvE story element as well. It's actually pretty nice. It's a continuation sort of the previous story and sheds a little more light onto the lore of the Traveler and the things that will come in the future.
Yep, and the Osiris DLC kind of delves into stuff with the Vex and what they're trying to do, why it is they do what they do. So that was an interesting peek.
One of the, I hesitate to call it community, but one of the gimmicks, right, for the progression is this concept of seasons. Everyone has seasons now. Season 1 just ended for Destiny 2, and its focus was on the Cabal. As a member of a clan, you have this banner that you carry around. It doesn't visually appear in the game at all, just on one of the clan screens. And with each season, you have certain perks that are accumulated based on the clan's level progression, which is capped per week, and everyone contributing will actually, progress the clan and unlock new perks. But Season 2 has started now, and its focus is on the first DLC, which is the Vex. So I imagine it looks like the seasons are going to be tied to the DLCs.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
similar how Destiny 1 handled things for those who played around that on their consoles.
Yeah, honestly, I'm actually kind of hoping, since now that it's on PC, that maybe they'll look back at Destiny 1 and maybe bring some of those stories over to the PC version. That'd actually be kind of cool to me. I mean, it's there.
Yes, and is that you highlighting that, Abo? Yeah, the gaming, like I mentioned earlier, it's like we're into these quick things that you can just go in, put in a few hours, and jump out of. Not a Destiny 2 raid, by the way.
No.
If you're in there with seasoned veteran guys, after they take 30 minutes explaining that sort of phase of the fight, then you can actually do it, and that might rinse and repeat for an hour or two. I think the first time we were in a raid, it was like 5 or 6 hours. It was
Oh my goodness.
a little crazy.
Yeah.
So finding the time to game has been rough, and now everyone's on the holiday hours. I'm segueing into Final Fantasy here. The two people who play Final Fantasy with me know this already. So it's the community is still there, but the time to play, the interest, the participation levels aren't there. So Final Fantasy is in a little bit of a lull right now, but a few of us are still jumping on. The free company buffs need refreshed every now and then. We usually keep track of that.
I've been making a goal for myself to try to get every class to max, and I've been working on at least getting them into the 50s. That is actually almost done. I'm actually only got 2 or 3 jobs left, and I'll have everything in the 50s. So that's pretty cool.
And
so we're still there, still playing.
And one of the things I've been focusing on lately too is my daughter has taken an interest in the game. She's young enough. I just don't turn her loose on it.
Yeah.
The game has housing, right? And you can go into the instanced house. You can turn off chat. Any ability at all for her to interact with the quote-unquote rest of the game. And she just sits there and dresses the NPCs and buys materials off the NPCs, and she's a crafter.
Oh,
so
wonderful.
She loves crafting.
Nice.
So I've been.
Are you still
When
using
she's
my house?
not here, yeah, we still are in the house.
Okay.
Abbott's got a house we made a resident in, because since she's a character on my account, oddly enough, you cannot send mail to your alts or invite as a resident your alts to be a member of your house.
Yeah.
So it's a little weird to me, but so we've been basically decorating Abbo's house, and he hasn't minded.
Nice.
But so
Nice.
she's been crafting a lot. I've almost got her to 70, so we can actually get some of the more materials that she needs. So she's enjoying that. And I did want to mention, since kids and gaming, a lot of us are old now, right, or even young and have children. But for younger kids, one game I found on Steam, which I've been playing a lot of with them, my son who's 6 and my daughter who's soon to be 10, is this game called Yonder, Yonder. And it's like an exploration, adventure, questing game, and it also has crafting and badges and cosmetic things you can collect, and it has all the Steam achievements. One of the things is you go around and collect 55 cats or kittens that are scattered
awesome.
throughout the world. So
That's perfect for a kid.
very kid-friendly game. So if you have kids and you've been struggling with a game, to check that out. They're not paying me or anything. I just thought the game was really well done. The graphics leave a little to be desired, but they're still cute.
You know, a game I'm going to introduce to my kids, because I'm a great parent. Dark Souls, because I want to
teach them about the real world. He's going to teach them about the real world. Die.
My D&D character's last name might be Lordaeron, so
It happens.
Hey, Doris, you mentioned something, about decorating the house and dressing up the NPCs. Don't get game development companies that don't understand how big character customization and housing is to a game. They come out, like the whole transmog thing in WoW. They were caught off guard by how popular it was, and like, what do you mean you were caught off guard? That's what people have been doing forever. They want player housing, they want customization. That's one thing I love in the Star Wars the Star Wars game is you can set up all the different, not only you with your different outfits, but your companions as well, and you have strongholds to decorate with a ton of decorations. So,
That's actually
I hope we're.
say that's actually something that ESO has all put in since the last time I played. Is they put in housing. They have a lot of houses. Like I was looking at the screen, and there's got to be 20, 30, 40 houses that you can buy.
Yeah.
A couple, at least one that you get free, but it's like a room. But it's. But yeah, I was very surprised by that sudden, little pop-up saying, "Hey, you can buy houses." Like one of the actual newbie area, I walked up to this merchant, and he's like, "Hey, you don't have a house where I send all this stuff." It's like, what do you mean a
Wow,
house?
so that's just telling you right straight up there what you need to do.
There's a breadcrumb
Yeah.
for you.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A whole loaf of bread.
Yeah.
But-
That's interesting.
Perfect segue in Final Fantasy. If you were there with the launch of Stormblood, and we have the Tassonis, Jasmine and Sashi, officers in Final Fantasy 14, who were up at 3 a.m. when the game launched. By the time they logged in, all of the housing for the large houses in the 30 different housing zones that they had
Yeah, it was
were
like a few
already sold out
Yeah.
in 10 minutes. In 10 minutes.
I was there and was also part of the scramble, and I was in a different zone too. So we'd all scattered to different housing zones, hoping to log in, and surely people won't be over here. And so like the second we logged in, all ours were gone. Like we had literally we were part of the initial login, and they were gone.
Mm-hmm.
And so then it was a mad dash to grab a medium house.
Yeah, and to their credit, I mean, the medium house we got right on the beach there, very nice.
Very good spot.
Good placement, good sight lines. Very nice. I'm not in real estate, but if I was, I'd probably be a good one. But because of this, with the live letter number 40, they've done 40 of these now, which Yoshi P, we call him, Naoki Yoshida, and his community managers and team will be on there discussing 4.2. They're going to be introducing a new PvP mode. Who cares? I'm not a PvPer. Some of these other guys are. And Eureka.
I dabble.
They talk about Eureka. It's a new zone, and it's going to be linked to the artifact armor relic stuff. The sort of, I guess, trademark armor of the classes and jobs. That'll now be coming out for the 4.0 series. But he said specifically about housing, sorry, very, very sorry. We are going to revamp housing. There'll be a new purchasing process. We're going to introduce a lot more housing, like plots, I think. So they're going to address that. So maybe we'll still get a large if we're interested.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I mean, I was happy when they added in Stormblood. They added the ability to move your house, which that was a great boon. So
we didn't trust it though. We did it on our own. We've got so much stuff.
So much.
And kudos to everyone who was involved in that process. That we got that done pretty quickly, I think. And speaking about customization and fun and stories, the Bard just recently, I think in 4.15, got the ability to actually do performance. So like if you've done Lord of the Rings online, and the bands with the actual, that now is sort of in Final Fantasy where the Bard can actually, they have a note system and everything. You can compose songs and do all that jazz. And they're looking at adding more of those kinds of social features to the various other jobs in the future. No, nothing specific, but as Yoshi P always says, please look forward to it. So they're folk. Final Fantasy gets it. Right? Square Enix gets it that people love these things. I mean, come on. Some of us dressed up Barbies when we were younger. Some of us
Some of us like cosplay.
Some of us love to dress up Steve Austin in his astronaut gear with his. None of you know who that is, do you?
We do. Well, some of us do.
Okay, all right.
Some of us only didn't dress up Steve Austin because our grandmas wouldn't let us get the toys. So we had the Barbies.
I'm thinking Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. No, not him.
No, wrong Austin.
We're talking about the $6 million man, which by today's inflation it probably seems pretty cheap. But yeah, so that's that's Final Fantasy, and you've seen me messing around here in the Division off and on, which is another sort of shooter, very Destiny 2-ish game, but you're in pandemic New York. A bunch of us, I think, picked this up on release last year, and we've been playing it.
Mhm.
I kind of fell out of love with it because the big criticism of it was it's not the game that was announced at the E3 like 3 years
Right.
before it was released. They removed a lot of features. It's not all of New York. It's a very condensed map. Various criticisms here or there, and I had been out of it for like 6-7 months, but 1.8 just dropped. They introduced a new zone of New York, which is where I'm at right now. You see a big carrier here
Aircraft
on the
carrier.
pier. Yeah. And it's got a new zone, new bosses, new mechanics, new gimmicks. They've revamped the Dark Zone. They've changed a lot. So if you did like The Division when it came out, it wasn't the game you loved that was announced 3 years before it launched, but it might be worth checking out again if you still own it. I don't think they've introduced any more paid content. So if you have all the DLC you have purchased in the first year, then you still have access to everything in the game right now. And I think it's worth checking out. And you can pick up some of this nice holiday swag. You can get the nice little reindeer pom pom for Christmas and the sweater. You can even skin your guns with like wrapping paper textures. So what's my other one here has the gingerbread men on it. Yeah, so it doesn't have housing, but it does let you play dress up a little bit. And again, this is a sort of a nomads thing. So if you are interested in it, hop into #nomads in Discord, and we can get you invited to one of the Uplay groups where we kind of track what people are doing in the game if people are looking for some friends to have fun with. And the only other real thing I've been doing a lot lately, because the holidays and like I said, time being what it is, and sometimes needing to sit on kids' beds while they fall asleep being sick, you have to watch Twitch on your tablet, right?
Mhm.
The creative category on Twitch which it's been around a while. It's relatively interesting. As a wannabe used to be artist, I'm super interested in other artists' sort of process and how they do things. And there are a couple of guys that I've been watching, like Jim Lee of DC comic fame, right? He's actually got a Twitch channel.
Oh, really?
You can watch him
wow.
draw. Other times you can watch his kids play Overwatch. It's whatever happens to be on there at the time. And a guy I've been watching recently, I'll just shout out here a little bit, Dave Greco, who is the lead artist on another game people might be tracking called Crowfall, which I think they're calling a Throne Room Simulator. It's a game that's in development. I think it's still in alpha right now.
Yep.
And he's been on there doing a lot of work, some of it D&D work too, some D&D characters.
Nice.
And it's really neat to watch these guys do their thing.
Right.
So if you're looking for a filler, looking for something else that's not necessarily gaming, check out Twitch. Go in the creative category and watch people doing the various hobbies and things you love.
Neat.
Very cool.
That's all I have.
I know our own Nevermore, doesn't she Twitch her craft stuff?
Yes,
Yeah.
she does.
She streams her craft stuff. Yep.
Yeah, I always see it go by in TweetDesk, but I never manage to get online at the same time that she's doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Abbo, anything else that you wanted to cover?
For those on the video stream, here's the house is decorated. Thank you to the Sonys.
Oh, nice.
Cuphead is still awesome. I still recommend that game. For those interested in, because I'm playing them on your mobile devices, the mobile Final Fantasy-ish games, like the Brave Exodus, the Record Keepers, the Movius, or whatever that one's called, the M1. Shoot me a tell. I'm sure we can do some whatever their multiplayer stuff is along with that as well. Other than that, no, those are the big things I'm doing right now.
Cool.
We cover pretty much all the big things I'm playing.
All right. Mew or McCullough, anything else?
I think that's about it for me.
Yep, and I'm over here playing with the Bard Notes.
Is that enough games? Did we miss any?
That was all the games.
I think that was all.
Well, let me go through my Steam list here. Let's see what I got.
No.
No,
darling,
we're good.
Darling, they have Raid in 2 hours.
Exactly.
And I still need to make dinner. So, no
Yeah.
seamless.
Are you
Getting
going to bring
starving
your
over.
food buffs and your potions?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All
That's
right.
still a thing.
It is.
It really is.
The new raid dropped in WoW, right? Did you guys talk?
It-
No, that was before the last,
it did.
after the last podcast, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we're yeah,
So I
we
missed
talked
one.
about that. Yeah, you're good. It's still there. You can come back. LFR Wing 1 just opened. Wing 2, 3, 4 aren't going to open. Last one opens in like mid-January, so you're good. You got time.
So I can bring my gnome mage over and raid with you guys.
Yeah, no.
Well, we can punt him.
No, but we can punt him over to
There'll be
CTR and raid with
Yag
them.
Gnome.
No, that's okay. I think he is PTR actually, but I have my Tauren Pally that needs to hit 110. I should probably work on that.
There you
someday.
go. Yeah. Someday.
Someday when I'm done
All
playing all
right.
these other games.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, I think that's our show for tonight. While the chat room begins suggesting show titles, we want to thank Duras and Abavan for joining us. Thank you, guys. And I know we have Duras' stuff in here, and we'll add Abovan's stuff in here as well. Thank you guys for joining us. We really appreciate it.
You know my Twitter.
We do.
I still want to find the guy that took Duras.
Right? How dare you?
Right? Yeah. Might be Eludra's son. You never know. All right.
Who knows? Or Duros, right? That's always a confusing point.
Yeah.
The race from Star Wars.
Alrighty. So if you have any questions or comments about the show, you can email us at podcast@aie-guild.org. You can also follow us on Twitter. The show is at AIE Podcast. I am at the Mew Cow. Makala is at Cyberwaif. And Tetsemi is at Ivory Tiger. We record live with video every other Sunday or so at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. You can join the chat room and play along with us at our website. That's aie-guild.org/podcast-live-stream. And our Discord server for chat at bit.ly/AIE Podcast Discord. Our theme was composed by the amazing Andrew Allen. Follow him at Keys with Soul or visit his website, keyswithsoul.com.
And we have a shout out from Marcus B. Death Star Troopers is looking for full-time DPS. Sunday nights, 8 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in SOTOR Ops. No experience needed. And of course, to quote Max, that's a risk he's willing to take.
Very nice. We will be returning after the first of the year. So until then, AIE.
This is Makala.
This is Mew Cow.
And this has been the AIE podcast.
But we're not coming back. So happy holidays, safe holidays,
Yes.
happy New Year, all that jazz. AIE.
Yeah, I didn't hear you. I didn't hear
How
you
about staring
say.
intently at his screen.
Yeah. We
Very
didn't hear you say this is Tetsemi, so but that's why we're like,
Yeah, there was a stutter.
We are a well-oiled machine.
Oh, no.
Yes.
All
Yeah,
right.
we were.
This is
quite the
high-quality
pregnant pause.
podcasting.
Yes.
NBC, eat your heart out.
The Barbie syndrome. I didn't say that. I didn't say it.
Was talking about that can be called the Space Barbie game as well.
That's true. That's very true.
cute.
Oh, and Apollos, my good buddy, you got me. $6 Million Man. Yes.
Yes. All right, guys, I'm gonna drop out real early because I need to get dinner started because I have a friend coming over in a few minutes. Because we're watching the lobotomy episode of Laura eating food on sticks, because that's what you should do when watching the lobotomy episode of anything.
Of
Makes
course.
sense.
I will take your word for that.
All right.
I should try this dinner
So
thing.
Abo and Duras, you guys get to pick the show title.
Oh, do we?
Yes. No, this was,
Get them at the bottom of the show notes so far.
I don't know, mini games
Sybil-
handle it.
Sybil's always on deck with these.
Happy Yuletide, Rage, Recruiting, Crafting Kids, New York ain't what it used to be. Wow, Blindsided by Barbie Syndrome. Blinded by
I
the
don't know.
light.
I have to go with the I have to go with the
something.
seasonal one because we talked about so many different things. I think that's a good encompassing Happy Yuletide, raids, recruiting, crafting kids. Crafting kids? Well, I guess technically
No.
that's.
Child labor. I like it.
Are you kidding me?
right.
She won't even
We
craft
will
me
go
a
with
hat.
that.
I have to make my own.
Nice.
Well, my kids made a mess today.
All right.
Does that
Well,
count?
It's more of a cleanup than a craft.
Yes, you did miss the Max impression.
Oh,
Alrighty.
yes. Yeah, it was there. Happy Yuletide, raids, recruiting, crafting, and kids.
At some point, you got backwards again.
Yeah, see, it seems to flip on and off because I noticed when I first started after the new link came up, I was backwards again.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I am going to kill the stream, and thank you
Right,
guys
chat
very
room.
much for
White chat.